And something and I noticed with these perps as they try to make themselves subscribe to these pedophilia things, make me try to subscribe. They're using these childlike individuals, and this you can hear this child like individual saying, "Oh, they're gonna rape you." And it's funny because I'm listening to this person who's terrified to even think about her death, right? One day I remember when she said they rape you, she's like, "Are you gonna get raped?" The truth is, I don't care, and I don't want that to happen. But the nastiness that they do is crazy. Earlier, my first video, I was talking about this memory where they try to make me have this memory where they create this stimulation, disturbing pedophilia things toward this specific child, because they, as my memory is fading away, they can replace it with the new stimulation, the new version of memory. I made a video 3 years ago about how they do these things, right? Still doing it wherever there's children, they're gonna try to add this nastiness. And you hear this, and then they try to like, oh, pay for what you did as a child, right? Try to make it seem like try to sell this thing as if it doesn't even make sense. First of all, you do this peripheral type of things and you force me to have these memories, and then you try to say no. Uh it's like when you were a kid. They're so full of BS. It's ridiculous. And on top of that, I know they torture children and do the horrible things they do to women and children. So I see them for what they are, right? So there's no way they can try to live their fantasy. You falsify these memories, as always. This is what you're going to do. You're going to try to find another memory you can falsify and create these nasty things. And then on top of that, then you're going to say pay for it and try to talk about me as a child, knowing that I know that you guys torture children sexually in other ways. I know that. We can go through another version of that if you want to. Sorry, you can go. We can go through the testimonies anytime. So I know how nasty they are to children. Now I hear this child like individual say, "Oh, we're gonna frame it." She basically is trying to say something about there's gonna be some kind of frame where they're gonna say I did something to a child, right? And obviously these people are filled with pedophiles. So it's just the irony of that is crazy because you guys are actually filled with pedophiles, and you project what's really ongoing in in these entities that contracted these people, right? And you hear this child like individual saying like we chatted, we did this, we did that. Like, okay, whatever things they come up with, the nastiness. Listen, they're just coming up the same story of what one of the CIA agents or something like that, who's busted or caught with talking to a FBI agent that was pretending to be 14 years old. Right. And so they try to apply that to me. And by the way, this CIA agent, nothing happened to him in regard of persecution wise. Nothing, when they found out he was CIA, they didn't do anything. Um, and so, they try to project the world they're in. These people filled with pedos, right? Of course, this program has, like somebody said, CIA fingerprints all over it, right? So it's obvious that they're involved in it. And on top of that, there's a bunch of pedophiles in other agencies that are involved in this. So as this trash trying to come up with this fantasy of hers, where in reality she's part of this program that is very pedophilia centric. They do these pedophilia things, they manipulate people to think it's pedophilia ways. They talk about how they're gonna frame me, and they have this childlike individual saying, "Oh, we chatted, do this." I was like, "Trash! Please live this life like this," because they know that. Well, what they don't know, but it's obvious that when you do things like that, right, things comes back. You don't frame people and think the life is gonna be nice. Things comes back. You don't like what they do is the things that you do in life that comes back, and when things comes back to you when you're in a situation and you think about why me, God. You think about it. Oh yeah, I was in a program that do all these nasty things. I frame people, I torment people, I torture people, I call myself God. That's the thing. For me, in the circumstance I'm in, I can say why me, God, because I'm looking at the people that these things have been applied to. I see the women and children. It's like if this woman's being tortured, if this child's being tortured, why not me? For me, I'm like, I couldn't even think like that because I'm seeing how vulnerable some of the people who's been tortured. But this trash who do all these nasty things to people, this foulness, there's no dignity in this. For me, I find dignity in being in this program in the sense that I'm with people who've been tortured too, like this women, strong women, with brave women. to speak, speaking about what's happening to them with dignity, even though the things that are happening to them is disgusting. And these trash are just the bottom feeder, the nasty things that train these kids to frame people, to like they're just nastiest. They're like it's like the lowest kind of. I don't know if like it's just the terrible. Like it's just so nasty. I don't know how. What I'm trying to say is to have that kind of aura so young already, just being framing people, torturing people, like, and then cowardly level too. You're gonna grow with this nasty aura, and they do have these nasty things about them. There's this nasty aura. It's just weak, and they try to make it sound like fierce. It's not even fierce. It's like sketchy. It's like that nasty, like ugh, cowardness that they because they've been involved in this nastiness where they're pedophilia centric. They do this framing. They do this manipulation. So they try to turn you into a pedophile. Like so, that's the thing stays. So I'm listening to this trash like, oh, they fear me. It's like, no, continue this life. Watch me being right with my magical ways. I say the most obvious things, and they start saying, "Oh, you're magicians." Like, no, it's obvious. You do these things for a living, right? Day in and day out. You're gonna frame me, right? You've manipulated people in this pedophilia ways. Okay. You torture children. Okay. You torture women. Okay. You're in a program that does that. Okay. What do you think things are gonna happen? What do you think life is gonna end up for you? You gonna be happy? You think? Oh, okay. To all my target individual, these bottom feeders are even, grooming their children or these young people, whatever they are, to do this nasty thing. I hear this bottom feeder saying how we did this thing. I don't know what this person is talking about, but I can assume that it's gonna be some kind of frame of some fashion. And I wish her nothing but this kind of life for the rest of her life, this boring life, and see how it comes back. This bottom feeder. Thank you, God. I didn't have to live that life.